Hi, my name's Randy Dunn with Zebra Technologies, and we're here today to talk about RFID. RFID has been around for a long time, but it's never been a hotter technology than it is today. The ability to do inventory management, the ability to help your employees be more productive, and the real breakthrough that we're here to introduce to the show is using RFID for loss detection, which will allow retailers to detect and fight back against the growing shrink problem.
The first thing we're going to do is do a goods receiving. RFID makes it extremely easy to receive items. So we select the location where we are at the stockroom, we select start receiving, and within a split second, we got everything counted. The next thing we do, the most important thing on the retail floor, is to make sure that your stock is accurate. We do that via RFID counts. RFID counts on sub-location level add value on store replenishment, making sure that your stock is always accurate. If we start a count, we select the location first. We are on the stockroom here. What you see here is we are at 0. We click the button and within a second, you count everything. We see that we have 15 items on the stockroom. We got 0 items on the sales floor. When we move to the sales floor, we start the count again and we start counting. What we're doing with that sub-location count is that we enable retailers to easily replenish items from the stock room to the sales floor. We use the functionality for that's called refill, in-store replenishment. What we see, because we know the difference between the sub-locations, which items are not available on the sales floor. We can see that we need to replenish those items. We can use the handheld for that, but we can also use an overhead control point for that. Randy, can I give it over to you?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So, you can see the importance and how easy it is to collect accurate inventory information. Once you get it accurate, there's still a little labor in that by being able to use control points like our ceiling-mounted ATR 7000 takes some of the burden off the associates. And a control point could be receiving, it could be the transition from your back room to the sales floor, or it could be someplace like a fitting room where inventory goes to get lost, but more importantly, it's where inventory goes to get stolen. So let's talk about loss detection that's RFID enabled. A green shopper is going to do what Carrie's going to do right now. She is going to go purchase a pair of blue jeans, walk right out the store, and we record what she bought, what size it was, and how we might need to replenish that. So in addition to the inventory information that we're getting here, we're collecting more inventory information as it leaves the store. But in a case it doesn't go through the point of sale, Carrie, come on out. Oh, Carrie's turned into a bad Carrie, and she is now our red shopper. Go ahead and take something, Carrie. What you'll see is now our exit system has the what, where, when, the how much, and when tied to video, the who and the how. That is a completely different game-changing capability for loss prevention. And so you say, well, how is that, Randy? Like, how is that game-changing? You're not going to chase her into the parking lot, and she still stole it. I'm going to hand it back to my friends at NetApp. And Mark, you can talk a little bit about how events get aggregated to build next-generation asset protection strategies.
Thank you, Randy. What we just saw was one item leaving a store. But can you imagine what amounts of data come your way the moment that you don't have one item, but you got thousands of items, especially if you got that in thousands of stores? What we do at NetApp, partnering up with Zebra, is collecting that data and turning it into actionable information. First one is aggregated data turns into hot items. Those items are more likely to be stolen. Having information around hot items allows you to go from a static to a dynamic loss prevention strategy. For example, not setting a price point to attach a hard tag above a certain price point, but really be smart on that. What we see is that allocating scarce labor is a big challenge for retail these days. What you typically do is that you use sales and traffic for allocating labor. What we now add is the dimension of theft. So with ID Cloud Loss Prevention, with the exit reads, you now have a different dimension to add your guards and your staff. We are all fighting shrink these days. ORC is a big problem. How do we make sure that we are doing that in an effective and efficient way? Those exit readers are always on, so even if your store staff does not observe it, those exit readers still observe. Next to that, if you have a case built, the case is now filled with accurate information. So that will allow you not to have guesswork when you're building a case. In order to get good support from law enforcement, facts just help. And last but not least, if we got more data, we can predict. So we're not talking about the stores that are at risk today, like a reactive approach, but we can go to a more proactive and predictive approach.
All this is possible because of the advancements that Zebra has made in RFID technology. The ATR 7000 is the most sophisticated RFID reader in the market. Combining that with NetApp's capability and software, we are changing the game in asset protection with the concept of loss detection. If you want to learn more, come visit us at a Zebra RFID lab.